Okay, guys, continuing with my same journey. Uh, Let me know if you are able to see my Excel.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. So let's do one thing. Now, instead of this search function which we saw, we were getting the position of the hyphen. If I use this search function directly, okay, instead of 6, if I use whatever the output of my search function comes out over here, which is 7 in this case, let's try to use this. What is the output which I'm getting is I'm getting the names over here, Balin, but then there is a hyphen. Carlota, then there is a hyphen. Squad, but then there is a hyphen, right? I'm not interested in the hyphen. I'm just interested in the name itself. So what I can do is the logic says that whatever your search function comes out with, the character, is basically giving you the position of the hyphen, not the word itself. I'm not interested in getting the hyphen over here as a part of my output. I'm just interested in getting the characters which come before the hyphen, right? So what I will do is whatever output I get from the search function, in this case, I will do a -1. I will jump one position back, and that will help me to not to cross the hyphen, but just to stay just before the hyphen. So when my cursor says before the hyphen, at the sixth position in this particular case. And same if I apply to the respective uh, cells, subsequent cells with the -1, I the output which I get from using the let function, it gives me a proper name, which is Balin, Carlota, and Spot, and my uh, objective of using the text function gets achieved. Now, please let me know if you are able to follow why did I do a -1 for my search function.
So,
You
yes,
guys are
yes.
able to follow? Correct. That's beautiful. Now, my objective is still not achieved. I need to get the price. So using the left function, I'm able to get the names of my products over here. But now I need to apply a VLOOKUP. So I just open VLOOKUP. I use the output of the left function as a part of my input. I use it a table array, I lock it, and I use 2 comma 0, and oh, that's the answer, $26, which I get over here. If I copy this down, I get $23, $36 over here. So are you guys able to follow how did I use the VLOOKUP and how I use the left function output as a part of my lookup function as a input, and then I was able to get the price of my product. Any confusion on this? Any questions so far on this?
Have you worked on? No, sir.
Rashmi, any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Great. Now, this is the um, second last function, or maybe the third last function of the text function, which we are trying to cover up over here, which is the right function. The right function is basically uh, we have this B25R, C2, C20R, and Q20L. Now, here I don't need to search for any hyphens over here. This makes my process very simple because all these IDs have got the last four characters same to what I have it over here in my table. So whatever these last four characters are, B2, B25R, or C20R, or Q20L, these are the same IDs present over here with the price. So here in this case, my life becomes very easy. I can just use the right function to strip out characters from the right. Like the way we saw left was using the text and the number of characters, same thing, same input parameters for the right function, but right does it from the right side of the string. So I'm going to use this as a text. And here in this case, I will say the number of characters are going to be 4 because that's a constant thing which you can see over here. When I use this number of characters 4, they all come up beautifully outside. They all match with my reference table. Now I just need to do a VLOOKUP on this. Open up VLOOKUP, use the output of my right function. Are you guys still there with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think yeah, sorry. So this, I use the reference table, lock it, then I'm using 2, 0, and that's how I get the price of my products over here, 26, 23, 36. So any confusion on this so far? No? Okay. So far we learned length. I think this is one uh, text function which we learned, the length. Then we learned something called as search. We learned something called as left, middle, and right. Okay. There are two more text functions which we often use for our day-to-day analysis. One important function is called as a find. Okay, so there are two functions to do a same thing in Excel. One is called a search, one is called a find. Okay, now many of the time people do ask you in the interviews a question that is, what is the difference between a search function and a find function in the Excel? Okay, and many people fail over here to give the answer. On a superficial level, you will see that search and find both are doing the same thing, same output. Okay, but there's one s- big difference between both of them. Okay, for example, if I have a word over here which is called as Harmeet Singh Sen. Okay, so in this cell I-19, I kept this word Harmeet Singh Saini. Now, let's look at the fun of this. If I'm searching for a keyword called Hermeet, okay, so if I use the search function and if I say the search function is Hermeet, okay, uh, and it asked me within which text, so I gave it a reference to I-19. And if I log this particular thing, I get the answer as 1. It means that this cell, the moment we started reading this cell, the first character or from the first position, the name Hermit exists. So that's why it gave us the po- the starting position of the character, which is number 1 in this particular case. Do you guys agree with this, or you have any questions on this?
Sir.
Rashmi or Vajanti, both are okay with this concept of search?
Yes.
Okay, now look at the fun. If instead of Hermes now, see, uh, I I use find function. Find function also does the same thing. You can see the same characters. It's asking find text. So in this case, I say Hermes. Okay, and then I say within which text. So I give it the same text number, and now I'm pressing Control Enter, I'm still getting 1. Both find and search are able to find Hermes over here, right? Any confusion on this? Find and search. Both of them are able to find the text Hermes over here. Are you having any confusion on this between search and find? Did you guys understood what is how is find is working? It's basically giving the same answer, but sorry, I think uh, Rashmi, Rashmi, are you there? Hello, Rashmi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
There's some
uh,
network issue.
no worries. Are you able to follow what is the search and find? How is it working right now? It's both able to find the keyword Hermes over here, right? Now
Yes.
I'm going to make a twist to it. What if Hermes Singh Saini is now appearing here with a caps lock, Hermes? Now what will happen? The moment I do this, I make it caps lock. Search function is still able to give me the answer as 1 because search is still able to hunt out Hermes. Although my input which I've given is not in caps lock, it is in the normal case, okay? But the find function fails to do that. Even though my spelling is correct, Hermes, but because I did not enter Hermes in the caps lock, find function was not able to find Hermes. But search function was able to find the word Hermes, irrespective of whether it's in caps lock or is it in small case. So the moral of the story is search functions are not case sensitive, whereas the find function is case sensitive. Many times you may get a situation where you may have to search for case sensitive data. In those cases, you will prefer to use find. But in cases where you do not have to do anything with the case sensitiveness, and those are the cases where your search function will be used. So my thumb rule is that 99% of the time you will use always search function, but whenever there is a case sensitiveness as an issue, you always opt in for the find function. But it's good to know what is the difference between the find and the search function. So any confusion on this?
No, sir.
All fine. Vajanti, are you able to follow this? The find and the search?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Now we come on to uh, out of the text function. Like I'll give you one Excel file which will show you the power of the text function in the recent year has increased in Excel by using one small uh, enhancement called as Flash. Have you guys heard about Flash?
No.
No, it's not the DC comic characters Flash. It is
Hmm.
a concept called as Flash, which is basically a new technology used within the Excel. Let me open my new file. Just give me one moment, and then I can explain you the Flash. Let me share the Excel file. Mm, New share. Okay. So I will dump this and go here. Let me know if you are able to see this new file.
Yes, sir.
You are able to see it, right? Now, let me delete this and let me also delete this. Now, I'm just giving you a gist of this particular thing. I'll share the file with you guys. Okay, not an issue. Sorry, I think I accidentally moved the wrong file. Yeah. Let me know if you are able to see this file. It's fine, right? This flash, you are able to see this flash file, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in your respective Excels, okay, can you go and check if you have under data? I think it's under data. Yeah. Do you see this icon in your Excel under the data tab? Okay, under the data ribbon, in the group called data tools, do you see this thing called as flash fill? Are you guys able to see the flash fill?
So wait, checking.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I can see.
What about you, Rashmi? Are you able to see it? It's under the data ribbon, under the group called data tools. You will see remove duplicates. You may also see flash fill with this icon.
Yes. Yes,
You
sir.
are able to see it, right? That's great. So you both have a latest Excel version, and that's why you are able to see this flash fill. But if you go to the Office of Max Education, you may not see this icon over there because this icon is only available for the latest version of Excel. Okay, so this icon has changed the life of data cleansing people. Okay, I can show you how the life has changed. You are able to see this file, right? I'm going to share this file, so don't worry about this. But let's look at the fun of this. So here is the name, which is modem, gigi train, and all these names are over here. If I want to segregate the first name over here, if I want to make it Mo, appearing it over here, Mo. Okay, I just write Mo over here. Then I go down to the next cell and I type Gigi. The moment I press G, do you see these things appearing in gray color as a drop down,
Yes, sir.
right?
So can
If
you just increase the size of the page?
you mean to zoom,
Yeah, zoom it up.
just a moment.
Yeah, that should be fine.
So please now note it, okay? This is very important to understand this new concept. If if I write Mo over here, Mo, okay, I'm writing it in caps lock. Please note that. Okay. Now if I type G, the moment I do G and then I type, wait a second, I type G I. Okay, and then I type the third word. The moment I type A, do you see this drop down appearing with the gray colored cells?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is nothing but the intelligence of Excel understanding my pattern. By looking at the cell A10 and A11, it found that I'm stripping out the first name, or I'm stripping out the first two characters from the, not even first two, the first name, or the the characters before the space. I'm trying to strip out those characters, and it understands my pattern and gives me the list automatically. And this thing is done by using something called as flash fill. Now, if I want to accept this offer from the Excel, that this is what I'm interested in, I just need to press Control E. The moment I press Control E and press Enter, I'll see the names are automatically appearing in the rest of the cells over here. And this is nothing but this is called as flash fill options. Okay. Flash fill is basically, if you go to the icon, you will see it's basically using the hotkey as Control E. Okay. The moment I've done this, so it's basically looking for a pattern. Okay. That's what is the power of flash. It looks for a pattern, and then following that pattern, it will give you the corresponding output. For example, if I'm interested in the last name right now, okay. Now if I put dim, okay, and then the moment I put T over here, it understands that now I'm interested in stripping out the values after the space in the column A. Okay, so it gives me all the names which are possible after the space which exists in the rest of the cells. So I just need to press Control E, or I just need to press Enter. And once I do this, what I get is this particular names appearing over here. So I didn't type a single code. I didn't use a left function, or I didn't use a right function. I didn't even search for space. What I did is using Excel's new concept, which is called flash fill. I was able to get a dynamic entry for the first and the last name by referring to the cell A10 to A19. It's basically looking for a pattern. Okay. The moment you enter your patterns over here, the Excel start proposing you that is this what you're looking out for. For example, here's another pattern. I'm now looking for initials. I'm looking for M and D. Okay. And then I'm looking for G and T. You can see that the patterns are automatically coming up for the rest of the cells. Okay. I just need to press enter, and I get the patterns correctly ready for all of them. GT, AB, KG, CV, CC, everything is coming as initials over here. What if I'm interested in reversing the names? Dim, comma, mo. Okay, dim space mo. Now, tran space GG. The moment I do this, I hit T, you can see the Excel is already proposing me with the same pattern for the rest of the cells. I just press enter, and I accept it as the proposal from the Excel that this is what I'm interested in. What if I'm interested something like this? Dim, comma, mo. So here in this case, I put a last name first, then a comma, then a first name. And if I do the same thing with the rest, the moment I press T, I get the same pattern for the rest, and I just press enter. You can see the same pattern exists in the rest of the cells, and it works like a charm. What about change case? Now, what if I do something like this more dim? Okay, it's in normal case. Okay, so in this case, if I press G, I get the same thing. I press enter, and it also takes care of the change in the case. You guys able to follow this? This is the power of the flash fill. Okay, I didn't put a single formula. Neither I used any of the logical, sorry, text characters, which is left function, right function, search function. I didn't do anything. And what I got is a beautiful looking output by only looking at the pattern and using the concept called flash fill. So in this case, you can see the first name and the last name, they are separate. I can combine them. I can make it like Mo, Dim. Okay. And then I do Gigi Tran. The moment I put this G, it gives me the proposal for the rest of the cells where it's combining two columns into one. I just press enter and it takes care of those particular things. Any confusion on this, on the flash fill?
Just by pressing flash fill, it happens, or it automatically takes
It
you to.
automatically takes clues. If you have the flash fill installed in your version, it will automatically come up.
So,
So you don't have
sir,
to
if
select the table and nothing like that.
No, no,
It will
nothing.
come automatic. Okay.
Automatically.
sir,
Okay.
then if there is a uppercase, can we convert everything to lowercase? Even that is possible.
Yeah, that's what we did over here, right? This was an uppercase, we changed it to the lowercase.
So you just have to do MODIM and then.
Yeah, it will take the first entry or maybe a couple of entries, 2 or 3, but fourth onwards, it understands its pattern and it will give you the output automatically. Okay.
Sir, one more question. In case the entire sentence in Excel is in uppercase and you want to convert it into lowercase, will flash fill help?
Yes, it can help. If you have the same thing as a pattern, like all the cells are in the uppercase. Okay. For example, let's try to this particular thing. This is, I'm putting purposely everything in uppercase. This is a story of uh, tiger and lion. Okay, this is for first thing. This is umbrella and brain. Okay, this is a dog and cat. Or this is a stupid story. Okay, or this is funny story. So I'm just writing everything in uppercase over here in the column C. Okay, now if I try to make it look like a lowercase, so if I want to make it like a normal case, this is a story of tiger and lion. Now if I start this, this is umbrella and and rain. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's a caps lock on, yeah, and rain. Now, if I want to follow the same pattern, I can go to Control E. The moment I do this Control E, it's sorry, my bad. I think I didn't follow the pattern. Yeah, it was something like this. Let's type this again. This is umbrella and rain. Now, if I try to make it Control E, we looked at all the data next to your selection and didn't see a pattern for filling in values for you. To use a flash fill, enter a couple of examples of the output you would like to see and keep the active cell in the column you want to fill and click flash fill button again. So I will try again. This is dog and cat. Now, again, if I try Control E, it's not getting the pattern. So basically, it tries to look out for pattern. It works for situations like the way I explained you. The columns, separate columns or same column, maybe the number of characters are uh, not defined correctly. I mean, the thing is, there has to be a pattern, you know. And now in this case, there was a pattern. It was like two names with a space in between. There was a pattern over there. So we were able to use the efficiency of that flash fill over here. Maybe for a sentences or paragraphs, it may not work. Okay, this is stupid story. It's still not able to identify. Otherwise, it would have given me the flash fill story. It's not happening. So maybe it's looking for a pattern, the number of characters in a particular string, and it's basically looking for that same pattern. Now you can see I have written over here the story of tiger and lion. Here there is a lot of space between the different characters over here, because more the character, the more the space. Here there are lesser characters and hence lesser space. Here I have tried to be constant, but again you can see there is more space in this sentence rather than this sentence. So that is the reason why I'm saying that it looks for patterns. You know, if your pattern is correct, if you have all four characters over there with spaces in between for all of the cells, then that pattern will work. But not all the patterns will work. That's why I said that Excel, although has made flash fill, it works for most of the situations, but in some situations where it doesn't work, then you have to rely on the old text functions. And that's why it's important to first learn the old text functions and then try to understand the new technology of flash fill. So any confusion on this flash fill so far? Once I share this file, maybe you will understand more about this. Is that okay? Can we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just save this file.